Okay, the first episode's coming along good. We're going to have the first episode built in the next few days with the Black Devil anglerfish. Now getting the dev sessions and the episodes, the dev sessions that lead to the episodes, each one's going to be sort of be like a project page with a bunch of different assets, where the episode is going to be the primary focus of the episode page. It'll have all the dev sessions. It'll have maybe a little summary next to each one, an overall summary of the entire thing. So I need to build the project page that's going to house the episode and all the dev sessions and any other information that's going to be immediately relevant, so that because people aren't going to want to listen to every dev session all the way through. It's fun for me as a learning experience, but you're going to want to give people a way to get to the information that they want to get to. So a transcript, a summary, the finished project in a way that when you're uploading them builds in a way that's easy to understand, where you have a placeholder for the project, like a summary of the project when you begin, and then it gets the final project in the dev session. So we'll have a project page, and that builds cubicsmeow.com, and then sort of like a knowledge base that's built from each one of the projects with all the dev sessions that each one adds to it with summaries and information and things that were built. Just really, really simple. Place for people to go to see what's been produced, to see the successes, the place for highlighting the various successes, and some of the more notable things from each one of the projects, from each one of the episodes in the dev sessions. And that's right now the entire site. And that's a good place to put the information and to build stuff out in a way that I can easily access, that gives me a good overview of my kind of like workspace in a way that's fun. And one of the things that this has really been successfully achieving has been keeping me focused when I'm at work, when I'm at home. Me and my dev partner doing all the stuff when we're together, but when we go and do what we each do during the day, we both stay focused on it in a way that I didn't have before I set up this workflow. And one of the things about this workflow is it keeps me focused on it in between, development sessions. And the summary, the summary and the research information, that's going to slightly change in between each dev session for each project. And right now with the episodes, I think we got 3 pretty good segments. The fact stuff, the really interesting fact stuff, the kind of creative exploration of things that could be possible with the animal, and, the behaviors if it was a person, kind of in a fun way, in a humorous but exciting way. Those 3 segments right now for the first episode, Cubics Meow Journey Discovery, I think are going to work good. So as we're building the first project, designing the first project page for it's episode 3. The first 2 episodes were the development sessions of the site and getting to this project, the Journey of Discovery. And now the episode 3 is actually the first episode of Journey of Discovery. And just, posting it on X about just whatever, whenever, just, cool, interesting stuff. And just using X as just a really interesting, development journal and just a fun place to hang out with people and talk about neat stuff is exactly what it's supposed to be. It's exactly what it's good for. So this is the end of development session 3 for episode 3. And this is part 1. All right, for the last dev session before we actually output the final script this weekend, we're gonna analyze. We're gonna look at the most successful videos in this niche for the first episode. We're gonna figure out what makes them successful, and we're gonna try to ride the viral trends like we did exactly like we did with the shorts. And you see the people that are successful, that have success after a short amount of time, they do what works. And then we get the views, quality output, but steering it into what's proven and what works for this niche, for the undersea, the deep sea creatures. And you slowly, after you get subscribers, after you get success, you slowly steer it into your own creative process. And this workflow definitely allows for that, to be able to emulate the winning parts of the most successful videos in this niche at first, and then to slowly, episode after episode, steer it into a format that really where you get to satisfy your own creative your creative, how your own creative process and how you want to actually build it out. So the first episode, we're just going to, we achieved a certain amount of success with the viral shorts, and it was a very specific formula. And that formula worked. And watching it work, seeing how the algorithm works, and knowing that there is that sweet spot in the algorithm, there's the exact same thing with long form. The exact same success can be achieved with long form, and it's, doesn't seem like it's that difficult if you do it properly. So that's the strategy at this point. The workflow is good. We got the parts of the site up that matter. We have the strategy for actually building out the script. Now we're just going to fine tune the first output to have certain components of the most successful videos, and post the first episode after we get it done this weekend.